There's a fine line between what society considers normal and weird. People generally view the extroverted and outgoing alpha male as standard, or even the beta male who strives to fit in and be part of the crowd. However, when it comes to the sigma male, he is often seen as someone completely different, like the black sheep in the flock. Being different has its advantages, but sometimes people misunderstand sigma men due to their complex and introverted nature. These individuals are confident and self-sufficient, unafraid of challenging the status quo. They prefer to carve their own paths and don't care what others think of them. They give off this mysterious and confident vibe that can sometimes make others feel a little intimidated, which is why people might see them as weird. But Sigma men know exactly what they're doing. So without further ado, here are 10 reasons why people see Sigma males as weird. 1. They seem very secretive and mysterious. While these men can be social and outgoing, they don't like to open up about their lives or share too much information. This creates a sense of mystery around them, making it hard for others to connect with them. It also makes them appear aloof and distant, contributing to the perception of weirdness. Sigma men tend to be overly reflective, spending considerable time on their thoughts. They may not easily share their opinions or engage in small talk, which can be seen as socially awkward or strange. This reserved nature can also make them seem intense and intimidating to people who don't know them well. Sigma males prioritize their independence and self-reliance, further reinforcing their desire to keep their personal lives private. While this trait is not inherently negative, it can be misunderstood as being aloof or odd, especially in situations where small talk is expected. While Sigma men may not always fit in, they don't necessarily care or want to. Many women find this intriguing, as having someone who carries themselves with such confidence is attractive. 2. They often hide from neighbors or acquaintances in public. Believe it or not, Sigma men often prefer to keep a low profile when it comes to casual acquaintances like neighbors or acquaintances. They're not really into socializing, especially when it involves gossip or topics they're not interested in. In public, they typically prefer to be on their own, away from all the noise and awkward social interactions. This avoidance of socializing might make others question their intentions or wonder if they have something to hide. However, this preference for solitude and selective socializing doesn't mean they feel superior or arrogant. They simply find comfort in being alone or having limited social interactions. Wasting time on trivial conversations isn't their thing, but that doesn't mean they have nothing interesting to contribute. If you get them on a subject they're passionate about, you might just get an interesting and deep discussion. Their preference to avoid drawing attention to themselves and keeping a low profile may seem unusual in a society that often celebrates extroverted personalities and outgoing behaviors. Their hesitance to be the center of attention might be perceived as odd or even suspicious, but it's just their way of being. 3. They don't trust others so easily. One of the defining traits of Sigma men is their cautious approach to trust and forming deep relationships with others. They're often seen as weird because they don't easily open up or share personal stuff. These men value their privacy so much, which can sometimes be misunderstood as not wanting to rely on others or not trusting people. This lack of trust might make them seem suspicious or antisocial, but it isn't necessarily the case. Sigma males just need more time to build trust and form connections, which can be difficult for others to understand. They don't like being vulnerable in front of people they don't know, so it's not easy for them to open up right away. But once someone gets past their barriers, they will eventually see the other side of these men, which is loyalty and commitment. The key is to take it slow and build a strong relationship based on trust and respect. When it comes to relationships, they don't believe in shortcuts. They want to make sure that the person they're connecting with is worth their time and effort, which can seem strange to some people. Regardless of their guarded nature, Sigma men still need someone to share their feelings with and rely on when needed, just like anyone else. They are just more aware that trust must be earned in order for it to exist. 4. They do not follow the crowd or what others do. Crow mentality is common among many people as they yearn to fit in and gain acceptance. However, Sigma men defy this norm. They refuse to conform or follow trends, setting themselves apart from beta males who seek validation at any cost. Instead, they embrace standing alone and forging their own path. Unfortunately, this independent nature is often misunderstood as defiance or eccentricity. People label them as strange or nonconformist due to their refusal to succumb to societal pressures. Sigma males prioritize authenticity over seeking approval, remaining unaffected by peer pressure or popular opinion. While this speaks volumes about their strong character, it can make them appear unconventional or out of place. Moreover, their ability to think critically and challenge conventional wisdom further distances them from the crowd. Their unique perspectives and unconventional ideas may be met with skepticism or resistance, reinforcing the perception that they are weird or different. While their refusal to conform may make some uncomfortable, it's also what makes them who they are. 5. They are highly self-reflective. Some people might consider Sigma men unconventional and different because they are strongly inclined towards self-reflection and introspection. These men are naturally deep thinkers who frequently analyze their thoughts, emotions, and actions, striving to better understand themselves and what motivates them. Their self-awareness might seem unusual in a world that values quick decisions based on emotions. This deep introspection leads Sigma men to spend a lot of time alone, sometimes making others think they are up to something negative. But that couldn't be further from the truth. These men are not involved in anything bad. They simply use their alone time to recharge and reflect on life. Their tendency to be self-critical and set high standards for themselves can contribute to the perception that they are weird. Their combination of intelligence and self-reflection can seem intimidating to some people, especially when they're not used to seeing someone think so deeply and seriously. However, their reflective nature empowers them to make well-thought-out decisions and actively pursue personal growth. While this trait might set them apart from more impulsive or outwardly confident individuals, it is a fundamental aspect of their personality that shapes their behavior and actions. 6. They take time to warm up to new people. Sigma men are thoughtful when building new relationships, assessing the character and intentions of those who try to get close to them. Most people don't understand why these men act this way and assume that they are being rude or unfriendly. Unlike many people who accept others almost instantly, these men prefer to establish a deep connection before allowing someone into their inner circle. They're not the type who wants a large number of people around them, so they're highly selective and often keep their distance. This reserved nature can sometimes give the impression that they lack the necessary social skills to make new friends. However, this is not true. They are simply protecting themselves from energy vampires. Once they feel comfortable and confident in someone's trustworthiness, they can be loyal, caring, and supportive friends. Their gradual approach to new relationships stems from their desire for genuine connections. Sigma males seek to be with people who love and appreciate them for who they truly are, not for any other reason. 7. They can enjoy their own company. While these men do not shy away from socializing, they can find immense value and contentment in being alone. Sigma men don't need an audience to feel excited or entertained as they find solace in their own company. Solitude is the perfect opportunity for these men to recharge their batteries and explore all life possibilities without relying on anyone else. They don't need to constantly be surrounded by people to feel fulfilled or entertained. One of the biggest misconceptions about them is that they are antisocial, when in reality, they just appreciate their own company more than most people do. While alpha males may find it hard to be alone, Sigma males enjoy the solitude and use it to their advantage. They can be incredibly creative and productive when left to their own devices, so they don't feel the need for constant companionship. This might look strange to those who don't understand it, thinking they are always bored or lonely. Their brains are simply wired differently. Sigma men are not driven by social interactions. They're driven by the inner workings of their mind, and they can only tap into this reserve when they're alone. 8. They have a really small circle of friends. While most people have a lot of friends, Sigma men prefer to keep their circle of friends very small. They'd rather have a couple of close mates who really get them than be surrounded by a sea of faces. It's not about being antisocial. It's about choosing quality over quantity. They're picky about who they let in their circle, making sure they jive with their values first. Some people might get the wrong idea about this, but the truth is, when Sigma chooses you as a friend, you know it's real. Their loyalty and the depth of their friendships are next level. Plus, they're pretty self-sufficient. They don't need a big group to feel validated or supported, so they don't bother collecting friends for the sake of it. It's a deliberate choice, not a lack of social skills. While many say that you need a lot of friends to be happy and successful, Sigma men have proven time and time again that a few close friends can be just as valuable, if not more. Of course, this doesn't mean they don't engage with other people, but they don't call friends with every person they meet. There's a saying that goes, "A man with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." Sigma men live by this, which can often be seen in how they interact with their close friends. 9. They often appear too rational and unemotional. These men are often seen as strange because they prioritize rationality and logic over showing emotions. Unlike most people who express their emotions quickly, Sigma men may seem reserved and detached when others are emotional. Their ability to stay calm in tough situations can be misunderstood as a lack of empathy. This rational approach to life may make others think they are cold, but they simply process and express emotions differently. These guys prefer to analyze and understand their feelings internally before sharing them with others. This focus on objectivity and critical thinking sets the Sigma man apart from those who rely on emotions in decision-making. These men prioritize evidence-based reasoning, which might seem unconventional to those swayed by emotional arguments. While at first it might seem like a flaw, such rational thinking often leads to wise decisions and successful outcomes. It's not about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding them and using them in a balanced way. 10. They enjoy observing before participating. Understanding Sigma men can be challenging at times. For example, they prefer to observe and assess situations before actively participating. It's like they're waiting for something to happen before joining in. Some may find this behavior odd, but Sigma males just need to better understand their environment before deciding how to act. However, this approach reflects their introspective and thoughtful nature rather than social incapacity. This also makes them excellent listeners and keen observers of human behavior, enabling them to gather valuable information and notice things others overlook. While some may see this behavior as overly analytical or unusual, others see it as a sign of intelligence and self-awareness. This ability to take in the full picture before entering the fray gives Sigma males an edge in many situations. It's like they can see where others are coming from more easily, allowing them to be better problem solvers and navigators of tricky social situations. This observing behavior is often misinterpreted as aloofness, but it's really a sign of confidence and strength. Not only does this give them an advantage over those who act impulsively, but it also allows them to make the right decisions more quickly and easily.